Many people mocked Mech Rogue in the lead up to the Titans expansion, but it's actually ended up being possibly the most powerful aggressive deck in the format, mostly thanks to Lab Constructor, a 4-mana 3/2 mech that at the end of your turn summons a copy of itself, and you can forge it to give this minion magnetic. So forge is basically you just spend 2 mana to upgrade this card. So our most straightforward curve is we forge the Lab Constructor on turn 2, and then on turn 3 we play Spider, a 3-mana 3/4 mech that has stealth for 1 turn, so the opponent shouldn't be able to handle it, and then on turn 4 we play our magnetic Lab Constructor onto the Spider, and it becomes a 6/6 that copies itself at the end of each turn. And it does copy every turn, so if the opponent fails to deal with it just once, it really snowballs out of control. But that's not our only win condition, because we also have the legendary minion Mimiron the Mastermind, a 3-mana 2/5, which says after we play a mech, we get one of Mimiron's gadgets. And these are mostly 1-mana spells that have small effects. We can deal 3 damage to something, give something Taunt and Divine Shield, there's a 1-mana sap, just a bunch of cheap, useful stuff. And we can really fuel Mimiron, not just with all the cheap mechs we play, but also with From the Scrap Heap. It gives us 3 1-mana 1/1 magnetic mechs that have random keywords. So we can get a cheap magnetic with Rush, or a cheap magnetic with Wind Fury to push a bunch of damage. Any of the keywords one Amalgam Band can get, we can get on our Spark bots. And of course, these aren't just powerful with the Mimiron, they're also extremely powerful buffs to add on to our Lab Constructor to snowball the game out of control. Finally, we've got Rogue's Titan, Voltron Prime, a 6-mana 3/5 Titan that copies any ability it uses on a random friendly minion. So its most aggressive ability is deal 4 damage to a random enemy and gain +2/+1. So not only will the buff also hit a friendly minion, if we have a friendly minion, it shoots another 4 damage. So if we have something that can attack, this can be 10 damage burst, potentially. There's also gain +1/+2 and draw a card, which if we have a minion is going to be draw 2 cards. And finally, gain 3 health and be untargetable by spells and hero powers. So a lot of good buffs, not just for Voltron, but for our other mechs, so we can start magnetizing onto those as well. It's not one of the most powerful Titans, but it turns out, even on the weekend, Titans are pretty freaking good. I probably do keep... do I just go Lab Constructor with Spider? Try to find a 1-drop, maybe? We Forge on 2, Spider with Stealth on 3, and then Constructor on 4. Picked up a Frequency Oscillator. Maybe that does something cute with Annoying Fan. Could just coin this. Coining that could be really, really bad against Plague Strike, which does seem like a pretty reasonable card for the opponent to have. Maybe next turn I could play Annoying Fan and then magnetize this. It would be a 4/4. I think 4/4 is pretty sturdy. I can Bone Spike that, but it's gonna be double not able to attack, right? So even if they have a Plague Strike here, I should at least have a 4/2 left, which I can drop probably a Coppertail Snoop on. Or maybe I would go From the Scrap Heap. Down with the ship, sure. And then they killed the original, but I think, yeah, that thing still can't attack. Well, we can do this, and then we can still play one of these. Won't be able to magnetize it, but we can play it. Lifesteal, Rush, Poisonous, all pretty mediocre. There's a very good chance I just hit Wind Fury with this other Scrap Heap and kill the opponent next turn. Alright, the turn 5 lethal, I guess. Druid should be a good matchup for us, right? I would imagine Memoron is just a pretty good card to have, and I probably keep Prep Scrap Heap as well. So coin Memoron into Prep Scrap Heap, Invent-o-matic, and whichever Sparkbot is the best. The Druid can maybe have like a Rake combo to deal with Memoron, but should be hard to deal with otherwise. Interesting lab constructor. Do I coin Forge into this, into this, into this? I don't think so. I guess I should have prepped this here and then maybe just played like a 1/1 Divine Shield if I got it. Good old Voltron. Well, Memoron is a 2/5. So should be tough to deal with. If they do deal with it, I probably forge this. Well, forging it only gives it magnetic. Maybe this just doesn't need forge. Although it's pretty sick if I can land it on the Memoron, which maybe is likely actually. But I still think I'd probably rather Invent-o-matic next turn. I don't know. Actually, a lot of options from what seems to be a fairly straightforward deck. Okay. Seems like a pretty easy kill they had on it. Wind Fury, Stealth, Poisonous. I guess I'll just make this thing scary. I think this is... I don't know if this is a good gear shift or not. Well, I'm not sure what my opponent, my Druid opponent, is supposed to do about an 8/9 Wind Fury. But they did pull that card out of their hand pretty fast. Oh, they're just dead. Oh, never mind. Okay. Well, I think Lab Constructor is still pretty good here. Play that just to be annoying. I can forge and play this next turn. If that's good, which it might not be. But we've also got Voltron Prime, which is pretty likely to deal 10 damage, maybe. So even just Annoying Fan might be good enough, but doesn't look like it will be. Alright, so I'm showing 8, so this is just lethal, right? I have to forge it. That was almost a disaster. Alright, just a nice stomp. And there were a ton of different ways I could have played that game. It was actually very interesting for a turn 6 lethal. I do like the lab constructor. Probably don't really like the Snoop with it. Snoop is more of a, like, click-clocker kind of keep. Spider into constructor. Definitely a greedy deck for the opponent. I've got prep for the scrap heap. Not sure when I want to play it though. Mage Forge. Does Mage have an actual Forge card? Or is that like the thing that gives a holy spell maybe? Oh, Mage has Molten Rune, which can deal 6 damage here. But hey, if that's it, they're leaving up a spy. I guess they can coin double Arcane Bolt, or they can just generate that. So it looks like they dealt with my minion here. Snoop. Love to hit a stealth here. Divine Shield and Reborn are both nice. I mean, they're both kind of mediocre against Mage. Go for a bubble, I guess. Hoping I can Voltron this minion next turn. Oh wow, they have triple bolt. That sucks. They have a bolt in their hand as well. Frequency Oscillator is actually really good here. I think I want to draw 2, but pushing 8's kind of sick. Maybe it's maximize defenses. What the hell's Mage gonna do if I maximize? The old Snooper. Oh, can't use abilities when it's frozen. Right. Well, let's give it Reborn. That does seem sick. And I guess we'll snoop this guy. Lifesteal. Protect this thing from getting one-shot by star power, I guess. It might still clear my board, I don't know. That does 6? Holy shit. That's so much. So this can either deal 4 twice, or it can draw 2. I think I like drawing. And then I'm probably going to rush this thing into the 3-4. Maybe Bone Spike changes things. Well, Lab Constructor's kind of sick. That's pretty scary. I do have a deadly shot. Ziliax. God, the opponent's showing so much damage with double Wind Fury. Can buff this to kill one of them. Then I can concoction another, so say they have 16 next turn. Needed to make sure I got the buff on this guy. Okay, well this thing is out of abilities, so it's just a normal minion now, but it's a normal minion with Reborn and can't be targeted by spells and hero powers. So that's pretty good. And I got maybe the best 3-drop in the game here from my concoction. So I'm feeling pretty good about things. But there's probably a world where I'm dead, I don't know. If I'm not dead, there's a good chance I can slap Ziliax on one of these bad boys. And be fine. Oh, I was assuming that would deal 4, but it only did 2. That's not nearly as bad. They might just have to double trade hero power into one of these. And then... Okay. I was thinking about playing Eni, but against this... Well, I guess Ziliax doesn't necessarily heal me that much, because going face doesn't do much. Oh, I can play Eni and Ziliax. Okay, surely it's concede time now, right? I guess they have 2 blizzards and a solid alibi, potentially. 2 solid alibis, maybe? I don't think that one was from their deck. Even if they have an alibi here, I just crush their board. Yeah, my board was absolutely disgusting here. Warlock? There is the new Warlock spell that destroys a minion. And the new board clear that does like 15 damage. Those are pretty spooky. I probably keep Rep Pit Stop, don't I? And then what? Am I trying to Invent-o-matic into Snoop? I don't think Snoop is a keep. Invent-o-matic probably isn't either. Let's just try to line something up. Okay, got a Snoop in the same spot. If they play a minion on one, I can prep Bone Spike Snoop. Give me a Click Clocker maybe. Mimiron works. Feels so bad prepping on one and then floating a mana. But if it means I can play turn 2 coin 4/6 Mimiron, that's probably pretty good. Reverberations. Well, I can Bone Spike that. I think I should probably try to find like Divine Shield or Stealth here. Reborn works too, I guess. Taunt and Divine Shield. Well, this Divine Shield could be quite nice. That's funny. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm snooping this and getting 2 coins. Choose 2 minions, they swap stats. Doesn't seem useful here. Now it has Mega Wind Fury, right? There's not that much point in giving this taunt Divine Shield. Maybe it's better to have coin for Voltron. I guess Divine Shield can block against another reverb. Probably worth it. If this thing lives, I just win the game, so pretty good card to go in on. Easy. The old turn 2 Memoron. I did lose my last Rogue Mirror. What do I do with this hand? I mean, if I can curve Memoron into Magnetic Lab Constructor, that obviously just wins the game. But I certainly don't think that's reliable. Probably at least toss Prep. Would have been good with this from the scrap heap, though. Okay, maybe I just play turn 2 Memoron. Very scary prep. That's pretty nuts. Save this discount for Memoron, maybe. Okay, well this is Memoron on an empty board, right? Stat swap. That could be really sick in this matchup, actually. And Magnetic Rush. You're just playing the guy? It is a 4-3. Oh, and prep. What are you prep? Oh. Okay. Fair. So I can kill both of these by simply magnetizing, which I guess will probably be the play. Return. Double return. Can make my guy a 3-2. No, if I want to play one of these, I have to attack with this first anyway. Whatever, we're just fine like this. They killed both. That's rough. Divine Shield, Rush, Stealth. Well, Stealth is a really, really good one. Maybe I should have given it Rush and then Stealthed it. Maybe. Well, whatever. Made some pretty sick minions here. And I think double Rewinder is pretty good, maybe. Alright. Priest, the unwinnable matchup. Love to see it. Snoop is definitely not a keep without a specific game plan. Annoying Fan can help me curve into Snoop if they play an early minion. Tempo. My priest opponent actually found a way to potentially lose this game. Pretty crazy. So 2-1, deal 4 damage a couple of times. It's pretty good. Maybe I just want to protect my minions as much as possible. I guess we're stealthing. And then next turn I'll probably do the defense one. And even for priest, that should be pretty tough to deal with. They are hard searching for Shard of the Naru. And it's quite possible they'll find it. But not yet. Wow, Invent-o-matic can make my minions so big here. Give me a Wind Fury. Nope. I think I am just jamming. Shard or bust. Or Shadowward Rune, I guess. I'd still have a somewhat respectable board against Shadowward Rune, considering I have Invent-o-matic with From the Scrap Heap. But I would prefer they just not have a clear. Don't be pulling a spell out of your hand. Hate to see it. Would I rather pit stop or scrap heap? If scrap heap hits reborn, it's pretty sick. What would I be hoping to pit stop into? Nothing too insane, I think. Wind Fury, Reborn, Lifesteal, those are all great. Actually a very interesting set of options here. Let's just try to take some sick value with this. Okay. Should be pretty hard to fully answer this Voltron. I can't look. Don't have another shard. Surely they're dead. Voltron actually got to attack for lethal. Rare footage. And rare footage of a priest actually losing this matchup. Shout out to Dirty Rat.